you guys, I think Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton are both drama queens, and I tire for them. I tire for Mercedes, which all year has had suspension problems all year, and they say we don't understand our car. No, you understand your car. Your suspension is effed up, man. And also, uh, Lewis Hamilton says I'm going to pay $1 million for someone who can tell me what the problem with Mercedes is. He's being sarcastic. He knows what the problem is. It's their
Totally.
suspension. It's their
Absolutely.
suspension. Then somebody released a video, email saying that someone says they should keep their eye on Toto Wolff, that he's sabotaging Lewis Hamilton. And the next day, Toto Wolff calls the police to investigate who did the thing, and we never found out who did it. So my view is that both, for lack of a better word, Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton are some biatches,
Sure.
bitches. They both hate each other. Not that they hate each other; they love each other, but they're both
Ooh,
wounded. They're salty.
that's suspicious. You know
Yeah.
why?
Why?
If it was a lie, you just call a press conference and deny it. But you call police, that means someone's found out something and you want to find out who's the leak in your
Yeah,
team.
yeah, but here's the thing. But by calling the police, though, because whoever leaked that, here's my theory: whoever leaked that doesn't have proof, and it may have even been. I'm not saying it was him. It may have been a friend of Lewis Hamilton to cause a problem. You get my point. So
Whoever
Toto
leaked
Wolff
that
said,
also probably got proof illegally, could have got proof
yeah, yeah,
illegally.
illegally.
That's another
So
thing.
yeah, so but whatever it is, both of them are being childish. Also, Lewis Hamilton was planning to leave and didn't tell Toto Wolff. Toto Wolff got a call from Signs saying, you can take my son, and because your boy is leaving. And Toto Wolff, I hate this. Toto Wolff is an emotional. No, he's not emotional, but he's paranoid and he doesn't let go of things. And to me, he might want to get a little bit of revenge on Hamilton because after that, they didn't show up to some podiums where Hamilton
I think
won.
the
Like,
word you're thinking of is egotistical.
no, but it's more than egotistical because an egotistical person wants to dominate people, but a person like for example, I'm paranoid and I'm petty. If I feel someone has done me wrong, then I do really bad. But it's not ego. I don't want to prove that I'm better than them. There's a difference between egotistical and between being uh, petty or oversensitive. The proper word for Toto Wolff is that he's oversensitive. Also, Hamilton is oversensitive. He gave a sideways insult to his mechanics. He said, "Thanks, guys, for all the work you've done. Also, this car was a piece of shit. It was like wood." Am I wrong? Let me go to because I know Lorazzo's a Hamilton fan. Don't you think that was a sideways comment? It was a bitchy comment.
Yeah, I think we've all been hearing Lewis Hamilton make these kinds of comments about the technical team, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
he did it to Lando Norris too, or Lando Norris did it to him. Then they went back and forth. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or he
Like
said that when he saw smoke, he knew it was Verstappen. No, he's
Yeah, I
passive
think you can
aggressive.
criticize the car without criticizing the engineers.
No,
And
no,
is
no.
that
But the
Toto
way
is
Wolff
he
had
did
that
it,
what
you
called the
he's
don't say
last
thank
shot
you.
saying?
of the
But Kule, you don't say thank you to the engineers. Then the next second, this car is rubbish. You don't do
Yeah,
that.
that's what that's what I mean. He shouldn't say directing it to the engineers. I think he
Yeah,
should
and even if he
direct
wasn't, and
his
I say it's
anger.
passive because he can say, "Oh, I wasn't directing it to them. I was just saying the car is
Yeah, yeah,
rubbish."
yeah. But
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
it
I
was
mean
because he
I
said the car
even
was rubbish, as opposed to continuously saying, "Well, the mechanics have done their best, but we just can't
yeah.
get the
Well, he should have said.
suspension
Here's what he
to
should have
where I
said.
want it
He
to
should have
be,"
said, and this
which
goes
is
to what
it's,
Lorazzo
it's
said.
the same criticism in
What
a respectful manner. You
what he
can
should
still
have
give
said
that
is
criticism
what he should have
respectfully.
said is Toto's fault, guys, because he didn't want to change our push pull rod last year. Remember that, Lorazzo? Can you give us some background on that? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean there's a lot of decisions that they made last year that I think they stuck with this idea of a suspension as well
And Lewis
is part of
Hamilton
the
wanted to go
problem.
the other way. What was it again? What was the distinction? Pull and push. Yeah.
Yeah, between pull and the push rod.
And Hamilton
And
and Russell both wanted
Red Bull,
one, and then Toto Wolff said,
yeah,
"No, no, no, I could do it my way." Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Red Bull and McLaren seem to have gone the pull rod way when I think Mercedes and Ferrari have gone for a push rod, which is why they struggled with bouncing
And
a
purposing,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with
But I'm
porpoising
just saying
and
that for him to thank the mechanics, and then the next minute, the next second,
yeah,
he's
no, no,
saying,
no, for sure. So
and
yeah,
also
just to
after
go
he said
back,
the car is rubbish, he now said this will be my last race. He says a cryptic statement, like making it sound like it's his last race. Yeah,
like he hopes that that won't be the last time he races a car
that was
that.
like emotional sabotage, emotional manipulation, like trying to make them feel bad or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I think I mean he's he's been making things like statements like they gave me this and they did that and they, and I think, I mean, we saw sort of like the rift between them come to sort of a pinnacle to at its peak in Singapore when they gave him soft tires.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what we haven't been clearly seeing is maybe the attitude that Hamilton might have been giving to the technical team. I mean, there's something that we spoke about earlier about how Jensen used to make friends with
with the
technical
engineers,
team.
mechanics, everybody in the paddock.
Yeah. But I mean, in the same breath, we have in the champion of Max Verstappen someone who says to his team, guys, this is fucking ridiculous. But yeah. But I think he says it with the understanding that he's still a part of the team.
Yeah, let me see what I think he's doing. Like, that thing in the Bible where it says, I will be a gadfly. A gadfly hits the cow's ass and the cow moves. I think he's just trying to he's whipping them into action. And once it's over, and Verstappen said after he won Brazil, he said, I was up and down. 1 minute I was throwing things in the paddock, in the engineer, in the what they call it, the garage, shouting at people. Then the next minute I'm happy. So at least he's admitting that he's shouting at people, but he's not trying to put them down. He's trying to get results.
Yeah, I think that, when you're not doing well on the racetrack, sometimes no matter what you do, it always ends up having this kind of dressing room, what I'll call dressing room incidents.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just a sign of the frustration. Ferrari don't want to lose at the end of the day. Whatever they think about Hamilton or whatever, they want to win. They want to get points. They want to perform. They want to be.
You mean Mercedes?
Mercedes, yeah. So that these are, I mean, they want these things. Why would they sacrifice themselves in order to?
Yeah, I don't think they're sabotaging.
Like, a race car driver. So I think that there's frustration going on, and I think it's how they're expressing that frustration, and it's coming out in a very public and.
Because I would say that Red Bull is more closed door when it comes to their disagreements with each other. Like when Liam made that, Lawson made that statement about when he gave the middle finger to Checo. Horner didn't say anything, but I saw a video where he was standing in the background and Horner was talking and he looked scared and Horner said, "Oh yeah, let's go." And they were going in the back room for him to shout at him. Did you see that, Lorato? Yeah.
No.
There's a video where you can see Lawson waiting, and you can tell he's waiting. It's like when the principal wants to see you, but
sure. He was waiting for the principal to
and Horner was talking to somebody, and there was a security guard standing beside Lawson, and Lawson's face was red, and he was like this. Then you could see Horner look at him and say, "Let's go," and they went into a back room, and so he talked to him and said, "You can't do that." But with Toto Wolff and Hamilton are both emotional, so they're sort of like a feuding, like a couple. You love each other, but you hate each other.
Yeah.
And here's a statement that was leaked, but it was never proven, that Toto Wolff brought police in. Toto is vindictive and is like a scorned wife, no longer speaking with Lewis, but is doing everything possible to get back at him. Lewis is excluded and some underhanded things are going on that people need to be aware of. Ask the questions and the truth will come out. It is all in the data. But before that, Toto Wolff said, I absolutely had on my radar that Lewis would go eventually. I just couldn't understand why he changed another team before we knew it for us to be competitive. It also didn't give me any time to react. I had to emergency call our partners and find maybe Leclerc or Norris. So you now see that if Toto Wolff, let's say he's giving Lewis Hamilton the cold treatment and I'll say a little bit of sabotage, it's because he feels like he was backstabbed. But at the same time, afterwards, he admitted, he said, yeah, well, I'm glad that it happened because I don't want to have to tell an old driver who's losing his cognitive abilities to go. He made it easy for me because he left. You get my point? So they're both being bitchy towards each other.
Sure. Yeah. So I think to my point that I was making the last time.
Yeah. You cut you went out. That's why we changed, because your connection went bad.
This frustration that they've been experiencing, it might not have been leading to sabotage. But I think the frustrations come out when you have to work with someone who you feel you're no longer gelling with, and I feel like the team has been feeling like they are no longer gelling with Lewis. And of course, as I said in the last few, I think since Singapore, Lewis has been feeling like he wants the season to be over. This is why we saw such a bad show in the US. This is why we subsequently. Well, I think he was a little bit better in Mexico, just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But a bad showing again in Brazil. I mean, US and Brazil usually are some of his best races after Silverstone. But this year he didn't look the part at all.
Yeah. So I'm going to quickly go to.
So I think those kind of like questions are knowing at the back of the minds of my Scuderia classes. Like I said, I'm focused on next year's season.
Because they've also run out of money, so they don't have. They're not really.
They can't upgrade. Yeah. And the one thing that I read is that Lewis needs to be careful with this temperament, because Ferrari does not handle this kind of criticism.
No, and they're watching what he's doing. And here's another thing. Ferrari, let me tell you something. I just learned that Ferrari is going to let Lewis Hamilton stay in Enzo Ferrari's house. The only other person who's ever done that is Schumacher. So, but they're watching what he's doing, and they don't want a situation where, if things go bad, he'll throw us under the bus. So he needs to be very careful with what he's saying, because he's being watched by Ferrari.
Yeah. I think it's very important that he gets his mind in the right space, given the troubles that we usually experience when seeing sort of Ferrari develop through a season.
And Ferrari doesn't like this type of emotional drama at all. No.
Yeah. I mean, we know even this season they started a little bit strong, and then they took a bit of a dip, and then they started to project upwards. So
if they go back, will Hamilton stay? Or if Leclerc beats him in 2 races, will he stay? It's sabotage. He just needs to be careful.
Exactly. So he needs to adjust his mindset.
I think he needs to become stoic and just control what he can control, and just be more strategic with his words. Yeah.
Like I said when we discussed offline, aging and physical decline. Hamilton is getting close to 40. He may have passed his peak, and the greats like Bernie Ecclestone and Toto Wolff mentioned potential effects of age on performance and motivation. Then the emergence of younger talent, the likes of Antonelli, the likes of Max Verstappen, and of course the issues he has had with the W15 of the Mercedes car, aerodynamic issues basically.
Yeah.
So all these, and also the transition to Ferrari is a big distraction that is not making him to focus on Mercedes. So I think it's a cocktail of all these factors that is affecting his performance.
Sure.
And the fact that he needs one more championship to better Michael Schumacher. So the pressure.
I think he's thinking about that too much. He's thinking about that too much. And my argument is that Senna doesn't have as many championships as Schumacher. I still think Schumacher's the best, but not based on championships. I think it's based on the overall package of Schumacher could conceptualize a race. He understood cars, strategic, and everything. Verstappen understands racecraft, but may not conceptualize a full race the way Schumacher did. And Senna had natural talent, but Senna was not very good on the corners. He had long corners. So when I decide who's the best out of the 3, it's not of how many championships you win. Because I'm not trying to diss Hamilton, but he won 6 championships when there was only one car. Verstappen is winning this year when for more than half of the season he doesn't. I'm not saying he's better than Hamilton, but what I'm saying is that Hamilton shouldn't focus on how many championships you win. Focus on some other qualities. Because to me, championships is not the determiner of who's the best driver. What do you think, Kunle? No, what do you think, Afolabi?
Yes, context is very important. You're absolutely right about that. And if you look at Verstappen...
Can you come closer because I can't hear you?
Verstappen has been driving all season with a very poor car, poor setup, and stuff like that. And it's not been easy for him. So context is very important in our discussion.
Yeah, and I can't remember the last year somebody won with a car that wasn't the top car. I can't remember. Can you remember Larato or Kunle? I can't remember when it happened. And to me, that's worth for champion. That's
worth won a race or won a championship.
Championship.
A championship.
The last time it happened was Kimi Räikkönen
and Red Bull for the last many years.
No championships
with an inferior car. It was Williams.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying, the last time somebody won with an inferior car was actually Raikkonen when he beat McLaren, when they had Hamilton and Alonso splitting points.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because
Yeah,
but it's funny because Verstappen has done that partly because McLaren has no strategy. You understand what I'm saying? But somebody made a statement, which I believe is true. If Lewis Hamilton had been driving for McLaren this year, he might have won the championship because he drives well when he has a good car. But let's go back to what you said, Afolabi. Do you have those graphs I sent you to show the decline in Hamilton? Yeah.
Okay.
But if you can't find them, I'll just say them off of mouth.
No, I'll share them now.
Yeah. So let's go to 2023, 2022. Hamilton, that year, Hamilton had 233 points. Russell had 262. No problem. So Russell beat him, but I think it was 2022. You can't find it, right? It's where they have the one I sent you with their points and stuff like this.
Can you see it now?
No, I can't see it. Do you have it on?
Okay, hold on.
Don't worry about it. I'll just say it verbally.
Okay.
So in 2022, Russell beat Hamilton 262 points to 233, but that was the year after Hamilton lost unfairly. But if you look at the race results, Russell won 11 races and Hamilton won 9. Qualifying, Hamilton beat Russell in qualifying. That's the main thing. Qualifying is a test of pure pace. So in 2022, Hamilton beat Russell 13-9 for qualifying. Then in 2023, it was a draw, 11-11. 11-11 in 2023. So now they're even. Now in 2024, it's 5-16. Go to 2024. Now you can see a clear pattern in which Hamilton is beginning to, every year, he's losing ground with qualifying, which is a test of pure pace. And this year he's losing to Russell marginally, and Russell is beating him in more races. That's the first time that's happened in which Russell has beat him in more races. Okay, and but with the qualifying, that's a sign of pure speed. And as we've seen, Hamilton has started putting on the brakes sooner when he approaches the corner and pressing the brakes sooner when he leaves. Either it's his confidence or his cognitive ability or whatever. What do you think, Lorato?
Yeah, I think it seems to me like it has been like his confidence, either his confidence in the car, and also then the mental acuity issues that, like, I mean, we've been speaking about.
Yeah, so this is a young man's sport. Yeah, guys in their 20s are swifter. Yeah.
The mental health struggles that he's had, and I think, I mean, if we do think about it, practically 2021 took a toll.
Yeah, but even though it took a toll, he still had the advantage when it came to qualifiers. Yeah.
No. I mean, Lewis was sort of like close to retiring after 21. He wasn't sure he wanted to come back to the sport. Yeah. And I think whatever conversations that were had with him in private, convincing him to sort of see it through with trying to get the 8th title is what brought him back.
Yeah, but I do think that he shouldn't think that way. He should, because I'm a stoicist myself. Don't think about future titles. Just think about the moment and focus. That's the way I look at it.
No, for sure. I think this is partly, like I'm saying, what is weighing on his mind.
Yeah.
With every race that he doesn't perform well, he sees himself sort of losing a grip on that 8th title, and it further deteriorates his mindset.
Yeah. So my argument is that he should not worry about the 8th title and just worry about the fundamentals, because we know Lewis Hamilton knows the fundamentals. Look at your car. This is what Verstappen does. Look at your car. Look at your goals, and just take it goal at a time. Don't think about the big picture.
Yeah. And I think this idea of age might also be a little bit overreaching when we look at.
Yeah, but you gotta remember two things. Age is two things. He's almost 40, and also he's been driving for 20-something years. That takes its toll emotionally.
Yeah. But I mean, if we're comparing him to the other oldest driver on the track, Alonso just doesn't have a great car. But when he has to defend his position, when he has to overtake He does those. I mean,
although did you hear that Alonso? I think Alonso and Hamilton can't take purposing. Alonso had to get out of the car and go to the hospital because his back was hurting. Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a separate thing. Sorry to cut you in front. That's a separate issue. This new ground effect era is made for young boys because even Lewis Hamilton says, "I can't take this," but Russell is like, "Let's go. Continue, Lorato." This bumpy.
Sure. I think this idea of body conditioning is the one aspect that we can think about that can have an effect with regards to age.
More than the cognitive decline, like you said. You're right.
But I think cognitively, a more experienced racer should be able to push a car, should be able to know what.
Yeah, so I think it's motivation and emotion. Yeah, motivation and psychology. Yeah.
So I think that when I remember watching the early races with Russell had issues with reliability, not of the car, of his ability to nurse the car, the tires, strategy wise. He was
racecraft.
Yes, racecraft. He was weak in that. He had raw pace, and he didn't have the ability that Hamilton did in the wet. That's why. But as time has gone on, I actually wouldn't say Hamilton has gotten that much worse, or I think that it's that Russell has gotten better.
Very good point.
Mercedes, because when you look at, if you want to say a driver that's dropped off, you look at Perez. That's a drop off. Perez has completely dropped off.
Sorry, I'm going to defend Perez very quickly. I hate to cut in front of you. People are saying that Perez is doing better on the simulator than Lawson and Tsunoda. So they're just saying that he's Red Bull 20 is hard to drive unless you're a psycho. You get my point. And only Verstappen can drive that car. But I know what you're saying. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. It's just like, like Arsenal they're an excellent team on PlayStation.
But when you put them on a real pitch with mud,
they're not so good. So I think that that's the frustration that Hamilton is now having with his mechanics, is breeding negativity, and that negativity is feeding off into his racecraft.
And I can tell you what. Sorry, I can tell you what.
That he can. Yeah.
No, go ahead. You think he can? Sorry.
Okay, but I think that that's a personality issue. I think that if he goes to Ferrari, I think that if he can start with a fresh mindset and get past that, he can maybe, I don't know if he'll win the championship, but I think that
I think he has a 30% chance, which is high. Yeah. But here's the thing. I think he needs it. Other drivers have it. He needs a driving coach and a mental coach. A lot of drivers have them. He needs one. That's what I think. What do you think, Afolabi? Yeah. When it comes to Ferrari, just to keep an eye on him, like a big brother or something. What do you think?
I have a feeling he could start on a very fresh note and kick off his mojo, get his mojo back. I just feel he needs to leave Mercedes anytime soon. I don't know why,
but he wants to make sure he has a good ending so that he doesn't make a bad image on himself moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the Ferrari car, we all know, is better than Mercedes right now.
Yeah. But look at what Russell's making more out of it. But I think, like you said, Russell is hungry. He can see the Antonelli coming, so he's like, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to put my head down.
Yes, Russell wants to be the main driver for Mercedes.
Can you come forward a little bit? You're still breaking out. Yeah. Sorry about
Russell wants to be the main driver for Mercedes as soon as Hamilton leaves.
He's more motivated to do well with Mercedes. Yeah. All right, so let's